Hey everybody, it's Sunday, and I'm Bob, and hopefully by now you know what that means. It's time for another edition of Bob's Smokin' Sunday, and today on the program we are going to be doing pork belly burnt ends. So we've taken a pork belly and we've got our seasonings on it. We're going to get it on the ugly drum smoker and let it smoke for a couple of hours. Let's head inside and I'll show you what we did to get our pork belly ready. Alright, so we've got our pork belly here. And we're just going to take and cut this thing into about 1 inch by inch cubes, and then we're going to get these seasoned. Alright, so now that we've got our pork belly cut into 1 to 1.5 inch size cubes, this is how we're going to season it. We are going to take a little olive oil and just kind of drizzle it on lightly. Okay, we're going to kind of mix that up. Then we're going to use our barbecue rub. We're just going to use a little bit of it here. Kind of coat those, make sure that everything is nicely coated. Our barbecue rub has paprika, it has sugar, salt, pepper, a little chili powder, a little garlic powder. So it really has a good variety of flavors, and that will help when we smoke this pork belly. Okay, so today we have about half of our charcoal basket filled with a mixture of briquettes and lump charcoal, as well as some of the coals that we had from our last cook. And then we've kind of sprinkled in through that some applewood chips. I'm not using a chunk today because I don't want a heavy smoke, but I think the chips will give it a nice light smoke. We have our small charcoal chimney about halfway with about 15 briquettes. Those are getting nice and hot, and we'll get those poured into our charcoal basket and get our smoker up to temp in just a little bit. Get these coals and pour them right in the middle here. So we've got our pork belly out of the fridge here. We're going to put it on these trays. I'm going to spray with a little nonstick spray. And these trays are going to go on the smoker. So we're just going to arrange these on here. Give a little bit of space between them. Since we're putting these fat side down, much like with some of our other cooks that we've done, the fat will actually protect the meat from the direct heat that's underneath in the ugly drum smoker. And you want to leave a little bit of room between these so that the smoke can get through and get all the sides of them. And the last thing we're going to do is take some of our barbecue rub that we've actually ground down and made into a fine dust. We're just going to sprinkle that on top. So we're going to smoke these for about 2 hours at about 225 degrees. So let's go ahead and get them on the smoker. Alright, so it's been about 2 hours and our pork belly has been on the smoker at about 225 degrees. We're going to take it off and we're going to put it in an aluminum foil pan, and then we're going to get that pan covered and put back on the smoker. We're going to let it go for another hour and a half or so, and then we will get saucing. So it's been about an hour and a half since we put the pork belly into the foil pan, put it with the lid on the smoker. So we're going to take them off the smoker, check the temp, and then we're going to get these things sauced, put them on for another half an hour or so. So we're about 170, so that should be good. Alright, so we got our pork belly off of the smoker, and we are going to add barbecue sauce to it. So I have got Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, so that's what I'm going to be using. I've got it in my handy dandy barbecue saucer cup that my wife got me. So let's bring you down here and show you how we're going to do this. We'll just take this and we're just gonna sauce them. Kind of get it all around every little piece there. All right, so we're gonna get those sauced, and then I'm gonna come back once we get that done, about a half an hour or so on the smoker. Let that sauce firm up and get nice and tacky, and then we'll let them rest, and then we'll be eating. So we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so it has been half an hour since we put our pork belly in the barbecue sauce and put it on the grill to tack up. Smells delicious. So let's recap what we did. We took a 4-pound pork belly. We cut it into about 1 inch to 1.5 inch cubes, and then we seasoned it with a little olive oil and our homemade barbecue rub. We let it sit in the fridge for a few hours, and then we took it and we put it on our smoker. We used applewood and about a half a basket of charcoal. Cooked at about a temperature of 225 degrees for about 2 hours. And then we took them, put them in a pan and covered it, cooked for another 2 hours. Then we took it out, we sauced them, and then we put it back on for a half an hour to let that barbecue sauce get on there and get nice and sticky. So that's it. Let's take a little test bite. This thing looks pretty yummy. Wow, those are really tasty. If you like what you see, click like. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Try the recipe yourself. And, you know, it's not that hard, just takes a little time. So, until next time, you've been watching Bob's Smokin' Sunday.